right, y'all. Since 93 Sports back with another one. I just read on boxingscene.com that the WBC has agreed to lift the lifetime ban that they placed on Alexander Povetkin for failing two consecutive drug tests, and they're gonna go ahead and put him back in the ranking system after basically keeping their word on that ban for a little over a year. So I guess a lifetime ban in the WBC is a year ban basically. If you guys don't know, back in 2016, he was due to face Deontay Wilder. He failed for Maldonium, which is a drug that I believe increases stamina, and it was a drug that was recently banned, so they could not prove if he ingested the substance before um the ban or afterwards, even though I believe he passed one test, okay, and then it was a test after that, though I believe it was like a month or two before the fight. He failed that test, so obviously he took it after the ban, because how would he pass a test? Okay, how could he pass the first test that was obviously after the drug had already been banned? Okay, he passed that test, and then he passes a test afterwards. So obviously he thought he was in the clear and went ahead and continued to take his cycle. But for whatever reason, the WBC gave him a pass. Okay, then he was gonna face Bermain Stavern in a WBC title eliminator. Okay, for the mandatory position. Um, Even fucking Stavern fails for a fucking diuretic, and then I believe they do a weigh-in and all this shit. And the day of the weigh-in, he pissed dirty for Ostarine, which I believe is another PD that affects your stamina or increases it. So now they're saying that at this point, they've been exonerated and found out that the failed drug test, the drug got into his body through some fucking food supplement or something. So they're saying they've been exonerated. All the other sanctioned bodies, I guess, the WBA and WBO have agreed to put him back in the ranking system. It doesn't really say anything about the IBF because I wasn't able to find the IBF rankings, but I wouldn't see why they wouldn't go ahead and follow suit. But it's just bullshit, man. Like, it just shows, man, these fucking organizations, the word means nothing. Like you drop a lifetime ban, that should just be the end of it. And I don't see what lured them into go ahead and go ahead and keep ranking them. The only thing I can think of is money. And from my recollection, Povetkin isn't like a super huge star. Maybe in Russia, maybe they could get some huge sanctioning fees over in Russia or some shit. Like, it's got to be about money. That's the only thing I can think of. And Povetkin, he's a top tier heavyweight, so I'm sure he will put himself back in contention, and we may get to see that Deontay Wilder fight soon. I don't see him putting himself in title contention um in time to fight him before the Joshua fight, because even if he was to get in mandatory tomorrow, Wilder still got a whole year to fulfill his mandatory. So, fuck him. I don't even see why he's even put back in that position. He's probably going to be put in a position to fight Joseph Parker or whoever's holding that WBO strap, you know, whenever he wants to fight. And that's the end of it. It just shows you, further corruption in boxing. Why even push this whole clean boxing, VADA, and all this shit if you're gonna let like the fucking face of fucking PEDs be able to be ranked again in your fucking sanctioned body. But that's my thoughts, man. I want to see a lot of more guys covering this story, because the word really needs to get out here of just the fucking hypocrisy that's going on in boxing. And we already know it exists, but it just don't seem like nobody's really talking about Povetkin just creeping his way back into title contention after failing two consecutive drug tests. And I just got a little problem with that. But anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.